Yo, what's up, everybody? My name is Chris Colgate, and welcome to Lyrically Speaking, where I talk about the making of, the meaning of, and all the juicy details behind records I've made, lyrically speaking. This is episode 3, and today we'll be covering Nowhere Fast, a single I just dropped last month. It's a great record. Love it. I vocal produced this record myself and recorded and mixed it myself as well. So excited about this. This is a new thing that I've been doing over about the last 6 months. I just got into recording myself. It's very challenging, but it's very rewarding to not have to just, hit the studio and work with an engineer all the time. It gives me kind of some creative freedom. But really enjoyed it. It's been a lot of fun. If you're just tapping in, thank you so much. Please like and subscribe. It helps more than you could ever know. You can also follow me on Instagram, Colgate770, for all the latest and newest records, releases, visuals, and etc. And also, if you're watching this and you don't know, I have a podcast called For the Culture Podcast with 3 of my buddies, DZ104, Jay Swate, and Cass on the mic, where we constantly interview creatives and anyone that is contributing to the culture. So yeah, definitely tap in. Ton of content. It's gonna keep coming. Thank you so much if you're watching this. Excited to get into this one. So this record is called Nowhere Fast. I recorded this record myself. I mixed this record myself. I'm not the best audio engineer in the world, but I do love getting to do it myself because I don't have to kind of compromise with anybody else's creative input. So yeah, let's just take this from the beginning to when the record concept even first came to be, and then the rest of the process. So the way this one started was I was scrolling around Instagram and I found this graphic designer, absolutely fire graphic designer named Soulless, and he had some pre-made artwork that he was selling. They were just like really awesome, dope pictures, and I was looking through the catalog, just checking it out, and I found this one that I fell in love with. It was super hard. Here, I'm going to put it up here for you right now. But if you look at this picture right here, I just loved it. It's this car that looks like it's kind of went over a giant hill, and it's headed straight for this pool or pond of water, and there's these 2 kind of skeleton figures in the car. If you take a look at it, there's one on the hood and one hanging out the window of the car. And I'm looking at it, and it inspired me a lot. I was like, man, I gotta make a dope record and use this cover. So I had that in my mind, and I was like, man, what could this symbolize? What could the meaning of this record be? So I'm looking through some beats, searching around, looking through some different producer catalogs, and I stumble across this producer named Dat Boy Twan. I found him online, super fire producer, and he has this beat. It's this guitar sample in it, and it's really smooth and really wavy. I got a little fuzzy there on the mic. But so I find this beat, and I'm like, man, these could go together perfectly. Like, this artwork kind of gives me this vibe. So I got the idea because of the picture for Nowhere Fast, and because when I'm looking at the picture, right, what it symbolized to me in my mind and made me think of immediately is a relationship that's going nowhere fast, right? And in this record, what I'm talking about is it's 2 different people that have been kind of used and abused by their partners. Like, their partners are shitty, they've hurt them, they're liars, they're cheaters, like they're just not good people, And both of them kind of find solace in each other. They comfort each other, and they both know that they're in serious relationships, so they know the relationship that they have isn't really going to make the distance, right? It's not going to last, but they need each other at that point and at that time because they're hurting and they need somebody to help, get them through it. And they kind of find comfort in each other. So the record is literally about that. These two people that are in long-term relationships that are being hurt and abused, emotionally by their partners, and they bond over this, and they kind of have like a fling, so to speak, and find comfort in each other. So that's kind of where the concept for it came from, because the artwork inspired the concept, and I feel like all of us have been there. All of us have been in that relationship where it's like you want it to work so bad, and the person that you're with just doesn't give a fuck. They're not giving you the time of day. They're treating you like shit. They're fooling around, but you can't prove it, whatever the case may be. And then you find somebody else that's going through the same kind of thing, and you guys kind of comfort each other, and you're there for each other, and you have this kind of like magical spark with the two of each other, just confiding in each other and having that little sexy spark. So anyway, yeah, that's the concept of the record. Shout out to Solus, fire artwork on that, really good job. And that boy Twan did an awesome job on the beat. So let's go ahead and dive right into the record and how the lyrics line up with that meaning. So it starts with the hook, and the hook comes in. I will play a little bit of it here for you. Take a listen. This is just the acapella too. This is not the beat in there, because I want to be able to kind of dive into these lyrics, and let's pick them apart and see what we're talking about. So here's the hook. Take a listen to that.
She called his winner, but you burn you too. She like a splinter, yeah, mine stuck on you. And I don't know if you're listening. Feelings I've been wrestling, but I know one thing's for sure. We're going nowhere fast. Going nowhere. Oh girl, we're going nowhere fast. Going nowhere.
All right, so let's pick this apart. So the way the hook starts is, she's cold as winter, but she'll burn you too. So simple enough, right? I love making metaphors like that where they both make sense, but they kind of like contradict each other. So she's cold as winter. We get that, like she's cold-blooded, but she'll burn you too. Like, man, she's so cold, she'll burn you, dog. Like, she'll hurt you. She's like a splinter. Mine's stuck on you. Like, when you get a splinter, you can't think about anything else. It's just like a splinter in your mind, And I don't know if you're listening. Like, so this is the guy talking to the girl that he's kind of having the fling with. I don't know if you're listening. Feelings I've been wrestling, which is both ways, right? It's not just the feelings he's been wrestling with about this woman that he's kind of having this, like, confiding in fling thing going on with. It's also the feelings he has about the woman that he's with in the long-term relationship that's hurting him, that's cutting him. So I don't know if you're listening. Feelings I've been wrestling, but I know one thing's for sure: we're going nowhere fast, which also kind of applies to both relationships as well too, right? Like, because he knows it feels like it's not going anywhere in both senses. Like, and we're going nowhere fast. Like, this is kind of doomed from the start, but they're doomed in different ways, both the long-term and the short-term relationship. So that's the hook right there. So now we're going to creep into the verse, and it's kind of like the story of their fling-a-ding. You know what I mean? So the verse starts. So we'll bounce back and forth a little bit, and we'll play some of the acapella, play some of the record, like as we go through the rest of the video, so you can kind of get a taste of it, and then peel these lyrics apart. So the verse starts, and he goes, "Baby, where you going? Not so fast. Wanna feel your body when we dance. I know he hurt you," talking about her man. "I know he hurt you, but I know what you're going through. My lady hurt me too. I'll never lie to you. Kick off your shoes. We'll do what grown folks do." So he's basically trying to court her, like, look, I know shit's fucked up for you, but I get it because I'm going through the same thing. She's hurting me. He's hurting you. Fuck these people. Let's just be here for each other. Like, kick off your shoes. We'll do what grown folks do. Talk to me with lips and touch. We ain't come to fight or fuss. It ain't love, but it's enough. We're going nowhere fast. But yeah, so when we dive into that, he's, they're just having this conversation with each other. He's like, come on, man, fuck these people. Let's just be here for each other and have a good time and not worry about this stuff. Because when you worry about it and you let it weigh on you, man, that shit will kill you. Like, I've been there in the past. It's the type of thing that'll weigh on your soul so much it can literally drive you crazy. And a lot of people, they're going through it or they've been through it and they know exactly what I'm talking about. It's tough. It's hard, for sure. So let's take another listen for the part next after that. Here we go. Boom.
Pour me up a glass. We're smoking love and love, baby.
No, we're fast.
Let's not complicate it. You're intoxicating. Oh, I need, baby. Though it might not last.
Oh, oh, oh. She got his winner. Oh, but you burn you too. Like a splinter. Yeah, mine stuck on you. And I don't know if you're
Okay, so I love Pour me up a glass. He's somebody else besides me. And the reason I say that is when I kind of talking in third person is a lot of times when I make records, to me, it's like writing a book or writing a film or something like that. Like, I've got this character in my head that has a story or a plot for the record. So look, sometimes, they're literally records about me and my life, and they're very 100% autobiographical. And other records might be based off an experience I've had in the past, because I've definitely been through things like this, but it's not, it's not always literally happening to me right then in that moment. So I kind of almost imagine the narrator of the record as like a story character, so this is the character in Nowhere Fast, and this is what he's going through. But anyway, he's like, pour me up a glass, we'll smoke and drink and laugh, and just talking about having a good time. And then it kind of comes back into the hook as well, so and repeats itself and kind of finishes out. So it's really, too, I find the best records, they're all about feeling, right? If you can figure out how to say more with less, that's how you make a hit right there. Records that are just too overly wordy, it takes away kind of from the feeling and the vibe. You want those kind of snippet lines that just really resonate with someone another. Man, I know exactly what you mean. I'm going through the same kind of thing. So that, in essence, is the lyrical content of the record. Now, with the visual, we were filming the podcast for the Culture Podcast. We have a partnership with almost like a film studio here in Atlanta called Creative Block ATL. They're super dope. Shout out Creative Block ATL. They've got 15 sets or so in this giant Walmart-sized building. And you can go and rent them out by the hour. If you're a creative in Atlanta, I definitely recommend checking out Creative Block ATL. Awesome spot. We're going to have some events coming out of there soon and stuff as well. But we were up there filming the podcast, and I was like, man, I just shot this video. Let me shoot a little performance visual for Nowhere Fast while I'm here, which I'm going to put as we're talking so you can take a look at it and see how it turned out. But the thing was, when we filmed it, my dumbass accidentally filmed it in slow motion. So I had to hit up my cameraman that does my bigger videos, Cinematic B, shout out Cinematic B, and he slowed it down and sent it back to me. But I still, even when he slowed it down, it was still off a little bit. So I was like, man, what am I going to do? This shit looks super weird. And then I came up with the idea, man, let's not make it just a straight up performance visual. Let's do a visualizer. So a lot of artists do these things where they just kind of have repeating, recordings where the the words don't sync up perfectly, but it's just like a cool thing to look at while the record is playing. So I was like, yeah, let's do that. And I started manipulating the footage, like speeding it up, putting it in reverse, flipping it around, just something to give a vibe over the song. So I really had a lot of fun with it and actually learned a lot about video editing in the process, because it's been like an ongoing process as I've started filming a lot of my own things and my own photo shoots and stuff like that with the team, especially for the podcast, because I edit all the podcast episodes and stuff. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with it, the back end of it. At first I was super stressed. I was like, man, this is bullshit. Like, this shit didn't turn out right. Like, this is going to be weird. But then I was able to just kind of make a collage of the footage, so to speak. So it doesn't sync up perfectly. It does a little bit at the beginning, like the words match perfect, but then I kind of branch away from it and just do a bunch of cool images to go along with everything. Definitely check that out too. It's a great way to look at the record. But if you're more of a Spotify person, you can go search it up on Spotify. Just look up Colgate, Nowhere Fast, as well as any of the other records that I have on there. But really fun time, really loved it. It's a great song, and I definitely want to do like a stripped acoustic version of it. So that's going to be coming soon, and I'll do a separate real performance visual this time where the words match, right? But yeah, please check that out. Great song, really loved it. Had a lot of fun making it. And look, if you've ever been in that situation or you're going through that situation, I highly recommend checking it out. It's get you in your feels, goddamn it, get you in your feels. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, shout out to That Boy Twan and Soulless. Couldn't have done it without you guys. Just really one of my favorite records. I feel like it's a pretty poetic one and something that'll get you right in the heartstrings. You heard me? Also, too, again, guys, I've got tons of stuff on my Spotify and records out. If you've never checked them out, I got an album, like a 5-song EP I put out in, God, was that 2021? It's 2 years old now. That's crazy. Which is called Love Fuel. It's 5 songs, got some great features on there. Tyler Kidd, Louis Lynx, Doc Todd, bunch of great artists on there. Jari, she did a great job on a feature there. I've also got a song and performance visual out for one of my favorite records I ever made. It's called Voodoo, featuring Trey the Plug. You can watch that on this channel or go check it out on Spotify, Apple Music. It's out everywhere, all streaming platforms. I'm trying to think of what else I got out. Obviously, Cat's Pajamas, the 3-song EP, and I'm going to be doing a contest, too, to try and get some more YouTube subscribers, so be on the lookout for that. That'll be coming soon, because I got 3 music videos for that and 2 documentaries that I want to drop, but I need you guys' help to unlock it. You heard me? I need, I need a little support. I can't just be giving y'all the sauce. Y'all got to let me know you want it. You know what I mean? So, I've got 3P, which is a 3-song EP with myself, Jay Swate, and DZ104, and we have a video out for the lead single Right Now, which is also, the song is called Right Now, and it's out right now. So both of those, and that's on all streaming platforms, but you can check that video out on this channel right now. Also, Jay Swate and I have a joint 3-song EP called Love Affair. We got videos coming for that coming spring, summertime. So be on the lookout for that too. But the project itself, Love Affair, is out right now. Basically, what I'm saying is scroll through this YouTube, check out all the content, and also head over to streaming platforms, look up Colgate, and I got tons of shit over there, tons of stuff to bite off and consume. But in the meantime, definitely check out Nowhere Fast, because that shit's hot fire. Guys, I love you. Thank you for tapping in. This has been Lyrically Speaking, episode 3. Nowhere Fast. Be sure to watch that visualizer and check out the record and let me know what you think. Peace and love. All right, I've been Colgate. See you next time on Lyrically Speaking.